playoffs that he, number 2, and Uncle Dennis Robertson were focused on the Clippers. So, again, this is probably coming from, I'm guessing, Masai Ujiri or somebody within the Toronto front office. Their read on this was he was focused on the Clippers from the start. So do the hypothetical. What if the Lakers had just said, there's no way he wants us. There's no way he wants to team up with LeBron and AD. What if you had been able to shoot big? What if you'd been able to go after any... Seriously, do you think Kyrie would have thought about it? If you'd gone to Kyrie way before, this would have to be 2 weeks ago, right?
You said something very interesting, not to cut you off, but you said that when he complained, sought himself down out of the Spurs, he said, I want to go to the Lakers.
He just wanted to go home.
Was that a ploy? Said, no, we won't trade you to the Lakers. We'll trade you to the Clippers, knowing that was his destination all along. He is
a shrewd operator, number 2.
That's what he tells me now,
Skip. All right. But my point is, did he sabotage the Lakers from the start by trying to string them along, right? Because do the hypothetical. What if you could have gone after Kyrie from the start? Now, I'm going back a week before the official start of free agency a week ago Sunday.
I don't believe Kyrie was coming.
Okay, but you don't know. What if you go to him and you say, hey, would he not be, to me, the perfect fit with LeBron and AD?
Yeah.
He's the perfect fit. And again, if he had indeed made peace with LeBron, I'm just doing the big picture hypothetical.
Okay.
And then you look at all the big players. Would Clay have thought about it if you'd gone right to Clay a week before?
I don't think so.
Maybe not.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He wanted the max contract.
I got it. Would Jimmy Butler, if you had just gone to him right away and said, we're out on Kawhi, we want you, would he have thought twice about it instead of going to Miami? I don't know. No. So now you're down to J.J. Redick. You missed on him. Terrence Ross. I love Terrence Ross. Again, you missed on him, so it starts to fall down levels. And I give you this. They rallied nicely, but I still think number 2's ploy from the start was to sabotage what was going to be his arch rival, the team that shares the building that he was going to be in.
Skip, I don't believe he intentionally did it, but what this tells me about Kawhi Leonard, that he's a lot smarter than we give him credit for. We take his silence as that he doesn't understand what's going on. We take that he has the same vehicle for the longest time.
It comes off as kind of naive and shy. No.
To pull something like this off, it takes a lot of thought, a lot of forethought, a lot of planning in order to do something like this. Because he's like, okay, what's the one guy that I can go to and I can talk to him? It's reported that he changed the location of the meeting with the Lakers so it would be closer for him and Paul George. And nobody saw, Skip, nobody saw that. Nobody got pictures. Nobody got a camera phone, a cell phone video of Kawhi and Paul George at some hotel or restaurant.
Quickly, to your point, Ramona Shelburne reported this on ESPN. That all of a sudden, spur of the moment, he calls Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and says, hey, I don't want to come to El Segundo, where your headquarters are. I'd rather change the meeting. Could you drive out and meet me in Westlake Village? Do you know how far that is out?
90 minutes, at least.
It's at least. I used to drive from LAX out to, I used to go to Thousand Oaks for the Cowboys, so I know this route. It's right by Westlake. Well, it's so far out there that not only does he make them drive out there to meet at a hotel because it's near to where Paul George has a house out by Calabasas.
That's Thousand Oaks.
So he wanted to be in the vicinity where he could then run over to try to recruit Paul to talk him into making a stink with Oklahoma City. Let me out, or I'm gonna cause problems. I'm gonna do an Anthony Davis on you if you don't let me go.
Is Paul George gonna get that kind of criticism?
I don't know. He should.
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah.
Now, he had a contract 3 years.
Same deal.
Remember, Skip, he got on stage last year. I'm here to stay.
Oh, did he? It was a big 4th of July bash.
Yeah, had a good old time. Russ threw this big old coming back to OKC for Paul George. Man, nobody saw this, Skip.
Okay, so just think about what number 2 did to Jeannie Buss, the owner of the Lakers, and to the GM, Rob Pelinka. They have to drive all the way out there and then get stuck, and I don't know the exact time frame, but if they had to come back in 5 o'clock traffic on the 405 back down to El Segundo, that's 2 hours. So they have to be steamed today that they got bamboozled, right?
They got played.
And you want to talk, we talked about how LeBron pulled off a boss move by getting the AD out of New Orleans. This guy just outbossed the boss, right?
Yeah, he got the Lakers. He pulled a fast one on them.
He pulled a huge fast one. And then I kept saying last week, don't sleep on Jerry West, because I've been around him too long in my career. Everywhere he's been, he has made minor miracles or miracles, because I look
at... What the hell is he said in those meetings? How the hell did he get Shaq? How the hell did he convince Kevin Durant to go?
Do you understand? Like, look what he did for the Lakers. He drafted James Worthy. He drafted Derek Fisher. He drafted Kobe Bryant. It was a trade on draft night, but he got him. And then, I don't know, he talked Shaq into coming to L.A., right?
Yes.
Okay, and he traded for Robert Horry, which put them over the top again.
Got KD to come to Golden State.
He sure did. And remember, he was instrumental in the drafting of Clay and Draymond. Instrumental.
And he pushing. And remember, they were thinking about trading Kevin Love for Clay. And he said, hell no, don't do that.
Okay. And I'll remind you, he did have one stopover in Memphis where he was the executive of the year, and they made their first 3 playoff appearances under Jerry West.
Right.
How do you do that? This is genius at work. And when Steve Ballmer paid the price to get him out of Golden State to the Clippers, that's one of those magic moves.
It's the Lakers' fault, because the Lakers should have gave him a lifetime title. They should have. Jerry, if he's the logo, he's good enough for the NBA to say, when you watch the NBA games come on and the little logo that you see, if it's good enough for the NBA, you mean to tell me he's not good enough to have a lifetime employment with the Lakers after all that he's done? He should have never left that organization. He should have never left. But, Skip, for Kawhi to pull this off, boy, that Kawhi, hey, see, it's them quiet ones that get you every time.
It is the quiet ones.
You know, guy doing all the talking, Kawhi just sit back there,
So what did I tell you from the start about this guy? Cannot be trusted.
You can trust him, Skip.
Cannot be. You know you can't. You're done with that now. You got to be on the opposite side of the fence.
No, I can't. Look, he did the Lakers. He played them like donuts. He glazed them real good, too.
Yep. But so I still question the principle and the character involved in quitting your way out of San Antonio and then duping the Lakers.
So what the hell about Paul George? Is Paul George going to escape criticism? Because he went to Sam Presti and says, I want out. And Sam Presti said, I do not want an Anthony Davis situation. I don't want a Melo. I don't want a Kyrie Irving situation. Let me make the best of a situation while I got to check. And then
I thought maybe Sam Presti would be the one guy who would dig in and say, I'm sorry, you got 3 years left and you're making really good money. And we got still the makings of a good enough team. And he didn't dig in part because the Clippers came to him, or he went to the Clippers, and the Clippers said, what do you want? Well, what do you want? You can have everything. You can have our whole future.
They had to do this deal because it's also being reported that he brought to Toronto. Well, I'll give you Paul George, because it basically, Kawhi, it seems to me, Skip, Kawhi was going where Paul George was going, unless it was OKC. Then OKC said, no, I want no parts of that.
Right.
But if you can get him in Toronto, I'll stay in Toronto. If you can get him to the Clippers, I'm going to the Clippers. Well, Masai Ujiri wasn't willing to mortgage 3 unprotected first-round picks.
Plus, they wanted Siakam and Van Vliet. And it's just... He just said no, and he also thought he was being duped because he thought he was being leveraged against the Clippers.
Yes, and he was right. But you know what I find funny also, Skip? And Paul George just had surgery on both shoulders.
He did.
He might not be able to go.
To start the
season. Are we just going to pretend like Kawhi just going to play like 80 games?
Okay, now you're on the other side of the fence.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just asking. I just think, because here's the thing.
I'm with you.
Because Paul George, if Paul George doesn't start the season,
I got you.
I don't know if you can have him load management 5 games, 10 games into the season.
Okay. So there's one last issue here, which I'm just going to touch on quickly because we're going to get to it in just a few minutes.
Your boy, huh?
Years. Because guess what?
What happened?
Back-to-back years, 2 guys who could have played with LeBron James, Paul George, and then number 2, they said no to LeBron James, and then they teamed up to play against LeBron in his building. That's the ultimate disrespect of the quote-unquote GOAT.
Well, I love that they did that, because guess what? We don't have to go to 2 different locales to kick their ass. They're right there. I'm glad they teamed up. But I'm going to say this.
Okay.
If I ask 30 general managers right now, I'll give you a choice. You can have Anthony Davis and you can have Paul George. Which one of those general managers you think taking Paul George over Anthony Davis? Because we got him. And I told you from day one, I would have loved to have Kawhi, and I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get Kawhi. But if I tell you you could have Anthony Davis, look at all the free agents. Kawhi, Kawhi, KD, and Kyrie. They're all free agents. And who else is available? KD, yeah, KD. How far is the list going down before?
Just for the record, Paul George made first-team All-NBA and first-team All-Defense and finished third in MVP voting. Just for the record.
And I guarantee you, the 30 general managers would take Anthony Davis over Paul George.
They probably would, and they'd probably be wrong.
And don't worry about it.
They often are.
Because guess what, Skip Bayless? That's a great couple. They look great. They look great together. 2-13, that's great. But you know what? At best case, it's a push. That's the best they can hope for. But I still believe the King and the Bride are better of the two duos.
Look at that naive look, that childlike look on number 2's face. He looks like he wouldn't hurt a fly, right? And he is as devious a manipulator as you will ever run into.
That's the kind of guy right there looking at it and burn your house down. And then help you put the fire.
Correct.
Are you going to start referring to him as number 2 as well?
I still love. Guess what?
You start calling him why, and I told you. Why?
But don't worry about it, Skip. We got something for him.
Okay.
I hope this is the Christmas Day matchup.
All right, it should be.
I hope this is the Christmas Day matchup.
It will be. It's got to be.
We got something for you, Kawhi. You're going to wish you never made this decision.
It's going to be fun to watch. Fireworks for sure. Earthquakes, bombshells, Kawhi, a 4-year, $141 million deal with the Clippers. So who is now the best team in L.A.? We'll debate
that's a good
that
question.
next.
No, it's not.
And don't forget, check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on Sirius XM. Undisputed. We'll be right back.